All right, Shalom, I can start the lesson. Doing give all praise and all glory to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahushua Bahashim, Akakwadash, the bonds to our apostles and elders of great millstone that taught us his truth. Peace and blessing to the sincere occupants of pushing his truth and all true sincerity around the four corners of the earth, diligently to us, Shalom. Okay, I'm the brother Yera RAR from the Great Millstone Miami camp. And I come back to the spirit power, Yahweh Bahashim, Yahushua. Okay, to make another lesson. Okay, in this lesson, I'm going to be going into how, the title lesson is going to be exposing Esau's some of his unrighteous degrees that this devil, okay, when he was, taking over so-called America, okay, in the beginning stages when he found Northern Kingdom over here, okay, there were some unrighteous decrees that he had set forth to take that land. All right, and showing you how this devil works, man. He came over here killing, stealing, and robbing. All right, and here it is. Once he done finished, conquered. Okay, and it's a great picture right here too. But once he finished, conquered. Okay, Northern Kingdom. All right, he done made a decree to where all these other nations cannot come over to a land that he just conquered. All right, he done made that unrighteous decree. Okay, and these are part of the things that Esau used to, establish Babylon. Okay, this country was built off of lies. Okay, killing and stealing. All right, and that's what this devil did. Even when he came to Northern Kingdom. Okay, he came to them softly, speaking to them. Northern Kingdom was showing them how to, take baths, how to hunt. Okay, but guess what was in his heart? War was in his heart. Though he go crouching. Okay, that's the characteristics of this devil. Okay, but here are some couple unrighteous decrees that he had put on, put in place. And this is one that's called the Monroe Doctrine, proclaimed by U.S. President James Monroe in the 1823. The foreign policy statement that opposes European intervention in the Americas. In its essential declared that the Western Hemisphere was no longer open to European colonization. The United States would not interfere in European affairs or existing European country. In return, the U.S. pledged not to interfere in European conflicts or existing colonies in the Americas. Okay, so right after this devil done got everything situated, and this picture shows you right here a great, representation. Right after he done, got situated and killed off Northern Kingdom and put them on reservations. All right, and him coming over here from by Europe. He done said that after that he don't want no other Europe intervention. Okay, that's unrighteous decree. All right, you done came here off of blood, stealing and killing, but you don't want another nation to do it to you. All right, showing you how wicked this devil is. All right, and I got another document too. Going through fellowship and reading some of these, these articles that so-called white man has done to the northern tribe, man. Okay, is the requirement of 1513 was a declaration by the Spanish crowns to be read out loud to the indigenous people in the Americas upon their initial contract. So here it is. These devils done came, from Spain, to the indigenous people, which were the Israelites that was here before. Okay, and while they're gonna go capture or gonna go kill and steal, they are reading this document. Okay, reading this declaration before they go and destroy and kill these people, man. And it says it essentially demanded their submission to Spanish rule and conversion to Christianity. Okay, so when we say that, people, we were forced to, North Kingdom was forced to, take their customs. This is one of the documents that this devil done put down. It says, It essentially demanded their submission to Spanish rule and conversion to Christianity, threatening violence, enslavement, or death if they refused. Okay, so all that the knowledge that Northern Kingdom had, all right, it was stripped away from them. All right, due to Esau putting this unrighteous decree, okay, and beating Christianity into us, man. All right, and if you refused, you were, at that time, Northern Kingdom wasn't advanced. When it came to weapons, Esau came over with that sword, man. Okay, and that's something Northern Kingdom ain't never seen before. Of course, they're gonna, be frightened. Okay, but showing you how Esau the devil, he done read the document. Okay, two people, all right, saying that if you don't listen to, if you don't adhere to the statutes of the Declaration, you are going to be killed or imprisoned, man. Okay, and Northern Kingdom was scared, man. Showing you how wicked this devil is, man. All right. And I had a couple precepts, lined up too. Okay, this is Isaiah 10, verse 10. It says, "Woe unto them," woe meaning destruction, "that decree unrighteous decree." So, it's death and destruction unto Esau, Edom, because him, decreeing these unrighteous decrees, that they with the right grievousness which they have prescribed. And that's right, man. They're writing these decrees and grievousness. All right. Things that these, Esau does, even going back to those declarations and, until now. Okay, there's certain laws, that protect these momos. Okay, that's unrighteous, man. Okay, there's certain laws that, that in a sense, is righteous in the sight of the Lord. Okay, but to Esau, with his law, all right, it's unrighteous, man. Okay, showing you the works of this devil. Okay, if if you see a witch, man, you're supposed to get put to death, and also too, you can't do that here in America. Okay, you can get put to jail. All right, if two people commit adultery, all right, and adultery is one woman or man sleeping with the other that has a partner. Okay, if they are caught doing that act, they're both supposed to get put to death. Okay, but in this society, you can't do that, man. All right, that's not viewed as something that you should do. Showing you the unrighteousness of Esau, Edom, and that's why his devil got to get taken out of power. Okay, due to his unrighteous decrees and all the wickedness that he done caused on the face of the earth, man. Okay, the Lord has not forgotten any of the things Esau, Edom has done to the nation of Israel. All right, scriptures say that one day to the Lord is as 1,000 years. So to the Lord, this was this was just yesterday. All right. Gonna move on. This is Ezekiel 25, verse 12, and it says, "Thus saith the Lord power, because that Edom has dealt with against the house of Judah by taking vengeance, and have greatly offended and revenged himself upon them." And that's right, man. He dealt with Southern Kingdom, the house of Judah, and also Southern Kingdom by taking vengeance. All right, and has greatly offended Yahweh Shem Shai. Okay. But the scripture said that he furthered the affliction, certain things that he did that he didn't have to do. Never find this. Let's see. If I just put affliction. See if I can find it. Let me just. Zechariah 1 and verse 15 says, I am very sore displeased with the heathen that are at ease, for I was but a little displeased, and they helped forward the affliction. Right, man. Esau doing things that he did not have to do. Okay, the butt breaking. All right, sundown towns. Okay, the lynching. All these things were not needed, man. Okay, but hey, man, you overdid it. Okay, jumping down. Let's see if I can find it. This is Habakkuk 2 and verse 12, and it says, woe unto him that buildeth a town by blood, establisheth a city by iniquity. Okay, and Esau done built this, society off of blood. Okay, killing Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom. All right, going into slavery, and when he came over here on them ships, man, with Christopher Columbus, man. Okay, he done established this, this country off of blood. Okay, and it's established by iniquity, man. Let's listen to the definition of iniquity. You go to Habakkuk 2 verse 12 in the NLT. Go into them words. Them words are beneficial. All right, and it says unjust, unrighteousness, wrong. It says violent deeds of unjust. Okay, so Esau's violent deeds of injustice and unrighteousness, and it's wrong, man. Okay, all those wrongdoing that he was doing to the nation of Israel. Okay, the Lord has not, forgotten these things. All right. And he done established this place by iniquity. All right, it's proven. You can search it up on Google. All right, how was America built? Through thievery, through stealing. All right, and a lot of bloodshed. And the only way that blood is because that's going to be cleansed is by the blood of him that sheddeth. All right, and that's what the scriptures say. We don't want your reparations. We don't want your funds, because you ultimately never going to give Jake any reparations anyway. Okay, so I know, so the only thing that's gonna be acceptable is your blood, man, and that's and it says that in the scriptures. Okay, these not the words that the prophets just saying. These words are in the scriptures. The Lord has said these words, man. Okay, but yeah, I can, this this lesson was just me going into how exposing Esau's unrighteous decrees, that he done did to our people. Okay, when majority Northern Kingdom and Southern Kingdom. All right, and and the Lord is gonna avenge us for all those things, wicked things that he done did to us, man. Okay, just keep fighting, keep enduring, keep pushing. Okay, Lord, in this lesson was edifying. Today I do want to give all praise and all glory to Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua Bahashim Kakwadash. Them all our apostles and elders of Great Millstone that taught